to the bonus level.
My dad looked at him right in the face and was like, I have other plans.
What?
Oh, shoot. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bonus Level Podcast. This is level 28. And today we have a very intriguing, a very mysterious episode for you. We're going to be talking about urban legends, where they come from, what they are, and, you know, some of our favorites / some of the most ridiculous things we've ever heard. And Josh, you got, I know you got a couple good ones up your sleeve, and Luch, you know,
I am an urban legend.
You're just a mysterious guy. You're just a mysterious guy. So I know you got some good stuff for us as well.
The insides of my mind are an enigma.
Exactly. And for those of you that don't know what an urban legend is, if you've been living under a rock all your life, an urban legend is a humorous or horrific story, a piece of information circulated as though it is true. Sometimes it is true, but most of the time it is a piece of fiction that is circulated as true, which becomes sort of a well-known, elaborated story that takes on a mind of its own. And there's some populars. What are some of the, like, you know, obviously we've looked into it now because we're going to talk about this, but the urban legend, just as it stands, what are some of the ones that you think of right away?
It's always the monsters, the Loch Ness and Sasquatch and the, you know, whatevers.
Mm-hmm. Loch Ness, Bigfoot, Chupacabra.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. But see, are those urban legends, though? That's my question, because those things come about based on photographs, right? Like actual visual evidence. And I mean, I'm not. Let me backtrack, because I'm not arguing that they're urban legends, because they're definitely urban legends, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you have to photograph something in order for it to be
Yeah. But it definitely started, like, the urban legend story started based around photographic evidence in those specific cases, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the earlier urban legends and stuff started with basically hoaxes. You know, and the picture just helped it work out so much better than, you know, because, I mean, if you just tell a bunch of random people, hey, there's a man ape in the woods, it's like, dude, you're crazy. But if you come out with a picture, back in the day when cameras were crap and they didn't know what they were doing and people couldn't tell if something had been faked, you know, that kind of thing, then yeah, you could get a lot more people on your side pretty quick.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. As far as photographic video, any of that evidence definitely always, even if it's muddied and it looks like it was shot with, like, you know, the Handycam Pro, even though it's 2019, you go out and, like, somehow the cell phone footage is still the blurriest shit ever.
Right.
Like, my phone can shoot like 60 frames per second, you know,
Mm-hmm.
4K video. But then if I go to, like, try to film Bigfoot in the woods, it suddenly turns into, like, the Nokia flip phone circa 2001.
Yeah.
like the old cameras you can buy, the disposable ones.
Yeah, exactly. Or, like, you just, like, have a little bit too much light and it looks like you drop the camera into a fryer. Yeah. Luch, what about you? What are, like, some of the first things you think of?
I think of urban legends.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of alien stuff, but also some ghost stories. I know you're quite a fan of those. But a lot of like, you know, cryptozoology. You know, like the spooky monsters and aliens and ghost stories. Pretty much what I think of.
Okay, like, do you have anything, like, specifically?
Well, I mean, story-wise, I mean, like, you know, people tell a tale, and then that tale blows up, and then eventually becomes, you know, something blown out. Like, Mothman's a great one. Like, I mean, the amount of evidence behind Mothman is, you know, outstanding, but can you really prove that he exists? No.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that I'm familiar with Mothman.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, are
I
you
don't think I
serious?
am. Yeah, I don't think I'm familiar.
Josh,
with the
you know what
story.
Mothman is, right?
I'm familiar with the name, but I don't know if I know his origin story.
Wait, Jack, you're joking right now, right?
Mm-mm.
Go for it. Fill us in.
Come on, let's go. Let's hear it.
I'm literally in shock right now that you guys don't know what Mothman is.
I
Like
mean,
my
I've heard
jaw
of
is
it.
dropping.
I've heard of it. I don't know that I know the details.
So Mothman, like in Point Pleasant, up in what do you call it, the West Virginia area, there's like they held like the Mothman convention for cryptozoology.
Okay, so what does it entail?
Oh my goodness! All right, so anyways, it was like back in like the 1960s. These guys were they were like in a cemetery, and they saw like Mothman like fly through the trees, and that was like the first like known sighting. That was like the first thing, right? And it was like a man like bird thing flying through the trees, very low. Anyways, the big thing about Mothman is that he appears before any kind of big disasters happen.
Okay.
So like when the bridge went down in West Virginia, like people could see Mothman on top of the bridge and flying around. And like he only appears when that kind of stuff happens, but other people a couple claim that they saw him flying next to him on a car, or while they were driving a car, they saw him flying next to him. And a lot of
he's
people
just like a man like creature with like moth wings, or what?
Yeah, they even have a statue of him.
Really?
Yeah, they literally have a statue of him in the town. Yeah.
Huh. I mean, is he hostile or?
He's never been known to attack anybody, but
I mean, I guess if you're saying that he shows up right before a bad event, then it's more like he's an omen or something.
Yeah.
You know, like he appears and then the next couple of days, you know, someone, you know, either dies or I don't know, like how big are the events? I mean, are we talking about like
they're with a cause of massive loss of life.
Jeez. So he's just like a bad omen of
Yeah, he's pretty much
pretty much
just an omen that shows up when things, you know, when shit happens. And there's like a lot of pictures and everything. Like I almost as much as like, you know, he I thought he rivaled Bigfoot, but apparently not.
Apparently not.
A lot of books on him. Yeah, a lot of stuff dating back.
Does it have anything to do with the Mothman prophecies? The movie?
Oh my god!
I think so.
So you know
really?
what Mothman is.
There was some movie because I'm googling this stuff as we're talking about it. Yeah, it says the 2002 film The Mothman Prophecy starring Richard Gere.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on Kill's book. An annual festival in Point Pleasant is devoted to the Mothman legend. So it says the Mothman appears in popular culture. So yeah, looks like it has to do with it.
Okay.
Oh my god! I hope you guys are trolling me right now. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
Like,
I mean,
Mothman
I've
wasn't-
heard of it. I've heard
But
of
like
it.
Mothman wasn't one of the ones I'm talking about today. But like, so I didn't have anything like, you know, a lot of stuff on him. But like, I just thought it was common knowledge. I guess not. All right.
No, I mean, like
weird,
I said, I knew
weird
about
shit
it.
comes from West Virginia, though. Anyways.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I think of, for some reason, when I think of urban legends, I think like the Loch Ness and Bigfoot and all those are too obvious that I don't really consider them urban legends, because it's like it's more of a debate of, you know, is this monster real? So I think the cryptozoology part of like the urban legends are separated for me. And I think of urban legends as like the, you know, the hitchhiker, or like, you know, the guy with the hook for a hand that, you know, like it gets left on the, you know, they think he's not real, but then they open the door and it's like hanging from the door, you know what I mean, like that. That kind of thing is more like the urban legend that I think of. But then also too, there's a lot of like urban legends that don't really involve necessarily like something scary. For instance, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's an urban legend around Mr. Rogers that he was a Navy SEAL.
Yeah, I
And then
do
he-
remember.
And then he wore sweaters to cover up all his tattoos, and he was like a military like sniper that had all kinds of confirmed kills in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And it's just
Oh,
like,
that kind of stuff is interesting. I mean, because that's something that I feel like could have been looked up one way or another. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it was proven. I think it
reason.
was proven false. I think it was proven false that he
Okay.
didn't have tattoos or he wasn't a Marine. But the point is that like at some point, like these stories get started, and then they, they get traction, they get repeated, and then all of a sudden people are repeating them as if they're a fact.
Yeah. Well,
So.
it's funny. I was looking this up when he was talking about the Mothman one because it reminded me, speaking of bad omens, which this is one that you guys probably haven't heard of, being that it's revolves around a soccer player. So there's a soccer player. His name is Aaron Ramsey, and he plays for Arsenal. And you guys can Google this information, but he plays in a midfield position, so he's not a person that scores a whole bunch, just kind of randomly here and there. But whenever he scores, within 3 days, someone famous and important dies, like every time. And so it's like really widely known that if this guy ever happens to score, that it's like, all right, be on the lookout. And so I was, my brother was in town, you guys know, back in March and everything. And so we were watching one of the Arsenal games, and Ramsey scored. And so I was talking with my my brother and my dad about it. And so we looked it up. And so I want to start with just like going back to looking at like August 2009. After he scored, U.S. Senator Ted Kennedy dies. On May 1st, 2011, he scored, and Osama bin Laden dies. Then his next score is in October of 2011. Steve Jobs died within 3 days of him scoring. The next one was October 2011, Muammar Gaddafi. The next one was February 2012. Whitney Houston died. Hopping forward a little bit to November of 2013, Paul Walker is from his curse. You have August 2014, Robin Williams is from his curse. You have January 2016, David Bowie dies within 3 days of Ramsey scoring. You hop to the next one, Alan Rickman. And then the one that we were talking about that happened in March, we watched the game in March. He scored. My brother and I were joking, okay, we got to watch the news to see what happens. If you look up Luke Perry died 1 day after Ramsey scored back in March of this year. And because of course that one, I'm sure you guys being on any kind of social media saw exactly when that happened. Like every single woman between the ages of 5 and 95 were posting stuff about Luke Perry and how it's like their first crush and stuff. And so like my feed was blown up with this famous person just died, and I ran downstairs like, Dad, I told you it's true. That it's just crazy. So it's one of those things that it's now this one stuck with me because of going through it personally like this. Like I pay attention, and if he ever scores, I pay attention to the news the next 3 days. Who's gonna die? And of course, with that kind of thing, you could probably do that.
Is it 100% track record?
Yeah. Like
so what's the guy's name who scores?
His name is Aaron Ramsey. He plays for Arsenal. But I mean, really, if you think about
like every single time he scored, someone dies. Every single time.
Every time that he scores, within 3 days, someone famous dies.
So does he just suck? I'm sorry,
he plays midfield. He's not a striker.
Yeah, so it's not like if it were Cristiano Ronaldo, if someone died every time, he would be,
murdering everybody.
Our planet by knocking off half the population.
Okay, so he doesn't score often because of his position.
No. So he's not like one of those that scores all the time. That's what makes it kind of fun and what makes it work is he kind of scores just randomly here and there. So when he does, it's a big deal. Everyone's like, oh crap, who's it going to be,
But and while I can, we can joke about him being like the angel of death in the soccer world or something like that. The same thing could probably be said about, you could probably find somebody in like hockey, like that scores a goal that like plays on plays defense or, plays on the fourth line or, doesn't really score that many goals. And every time he scores, somebody famous. I don't know. It can definitely be done. And it'd be fun to do.
Yeah, like if you were to pick your favorite hockey player and go, all right, let me look up his stats. When does he
Yeah.
score? You go scour those dates. But the main thing is like, who knows how, like, who even started picking up on that? Like, who was the
Right.
first person to go, like, okay, within 3 days, all of these kind of things start with one person with way too much time
Yeah,
on their
exactly.
hand. That's like, I mean, even the Bigfoot one of, hey, let's go get a camera, let's go get a suit, and we're going to go out in the woods and we're going to pretend to be Bigfoot and we're going to film this. And like, you have way too much time on your hands if you're doing
Right.
crap like that. It's crazy.
But now it's this, worldwide known legend.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. Can you think of anything else that's like super prominent that's not your normal creature or hook on the door?
Well, yeah, because I mean that's the interesting thing with the urban legends is you have kind of your mixture between your folklore of like crazy creatures that it's almost like a regional type thing where if you're down in Mexico you got one thing, if you're up in Canada you got another, if you're out in the West you have something, if you're in the East you have another thing. Each country kind of has their own boogeyman type thing, but then you also have those urban legends that are more just like there's no personified case of it. There's no actual person there. It's just a scary story that almost seems like parents tell their teenagers to make sure that they don't misbehave and go out like the stuff with the hitchhiking or I can't remember all the different ones and stuff like that. Killer in the backseat of the car is always looking
Right.
look in the back, those kind of things that are kind of interesting. I know like when I was looking up some of the stuff that I saw what was it sewer alligators, which I think
they exist.
Yeah, that's been one of the ones that is, I think, proven to be pretty darn true. Now, maybe it's not like the movie Alligator where it happens in New York City and this thing grows to be like 40 feet long or anything.
The biggest alligator they ever caught in New York City sewers was 2 feet long.
Just enough to squeeze through a toilet.
However,
But I like sewer alligators though because they protect us from within. They practice in the way of ninjutsu and became ninjas with their turtle sensei.
Okay. Wait, what? I think you're talking about something else.
Yeah, I don't remember this urban legend.
In Paris, though, they did find a quite large Nile crocodile in their sewer.
Yeah,
So that was true. But no, the river sewer alligators in New York City, that was debunked. I mean, not completely because they did find like baby ones, but those are just like somebody gets an alligator and then it's like I don't want it and puts it in the toilet kind of thing.
yeah, but I mean, if you think about it,
terrible.
so let's say that you had a 2-foot alligator in the sewers of New York City, with how many rats are down there, you could easily have a gator get pretty darn big because that thing would have
Maybe if it didn't die from like the toxic waste in the sewer.
Yeah. You also got to think of a creature, adapts its body to fit in the area it lives in.
Mm-hmm.
So if the alligator was in a 4-foot dimensional sewer pipe, I mean even if that thing ate all the rats, it's not going to fill up and then fit in through the entire pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a plumber in New York.
I'm not a plumber here, and I know that.
Now, featuring the newest adult film featuring Josh Brun.
I have a kind of personal urban legend that I got to experience myself a long time ago. So we're gonna take a turn for the creepy right now.
You time traveled.
Do it.
Time travel.
And if we're talking about your bathroom, I don't want to hear it.
What, urban legend? That is a reality, my friend. No, so I used to live in Pennsylvania, out in central PA, and there's a state park near where I lived that, this is a two-part urban legend. There's 2 urban legends from where I used to live.
Mm-hmm.
One was at the state park. There was a crossroads deep in like the forest, like the state roads, that the legend was that if you were to travel there at night at 3 and wait. You go to the stop sign, the crossroads, and get there. Turn your car off. Turn the lights off. Wait for it to hit 3 o'clock. Flick your lights 1, 2, 3 times. That you would like summon the devil or like a demon or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. So that was like the urban legend, and of course, it's like there's many stories about people who would do that, and they would be like, "Oh yeah, nothing happened." Other people would be like, "Yeah, we did it, and we saw this creature come out of the woods." Blah blah blah. That whole thing.
Yeah.
So me and my friends, we were like, "Okay, well, let's do it. We're not pussies. Let's make it happen." So we do this, and I forget what car I was driving. I think I had like a little sports car or something like that.
You did it in your car?
Yeah, I did it in my car. And
it was a Miata, wasn't it?
No, it was a Mazda though. It was an MX. It was an MX-6. We drove out there super late at night. We were like had probably stopped at like Sheetz or something like that for food, and we just like go out there and we're joking around and we're listening to music. We get there and we're like, joking about how stupid this was and how it was like obviously nothing was ever going to happen. But then in the back, of the conversation, we're always like, but like, what if something happens?
Yeah.
And so as we get there, and it's like getting close to 3 a.m. and we get there, you're supposed to leave the car running, but you like turn off all the running lights and everything. You sit there. So we're sitting at the stop sign. We're waiting. Hits
so what's around that stop sign?
It's woods. It's literally like it's a crossroads in the middle of the woods. Like we're like kind of in the mountains. And so we're just parked there on the side of the road at the stop sign. Hits 3 o'clock. Flick the lights 3 times. Nothing happens. Right? Like we're like nothing happens. But it's super quiet. We're just listening. We're like, all right. So like how long we're supposed to wait? Nobody knows. We're waiting. No lie. Probably 2 or 3 minutes later, my car died.
No.
100%. Like it shut off.
Like you couldn't start it back up?
Well, it wouldn't start at first. So obviously the car shuts off, and we had that like split second.
The fuck out.
You know what I mean? The split second like shock of
where
like,
your heart sinks.
Wait,
and you're just
yeah. And like everybody's looking around. Like there was 4 of us in the car. 2 in the back were just freaking out, like trying to look out the back window. Like,
yeah.
I'm frantically just trying to turn the car back over.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening. I realize that like my foot's not even on the brake. Like I can't even start the car. I'm like, I smashed my foot on the brake. I turned it on. Finally, it comes back, and man, I have never driven so fast down a mountain. we were like, holy shit, dude. This is crazy. I mean, whatever you want to call it, coincidence, not coincidence. But we were just like, okay, yeah, we didn't like see anybody, but and then afterwards we're like, I don't know, maybe I did see something like coming out of the woods, or maybe I don't know. We were all freaking out. I don't know. Did you see something? Mm-hmm. So that was that, and then there was another one that was kind of close to there, and it was called she was just called the Wailing Woman, right? Mm-hmm. And apparently, if you went. And there was another state park that was kind of close to that. If you went near there, you didn't actually have to go in. If you just went near the woods at night, anytime at night, if it was quiet enough, you could hear a baby crying. And apparently, this woman, like long time ago, took her kid who wouldn't stop crying into the woods in the middle of the night to drown it in a pond. Mm-hmm. And apparently, if you could, and we never actually tried this one because we didn't hear about this one until after the other one. So we're just like, no, we're never gonna go try to hear a baby crying because that would be the most terrifying thing. Like you're just in the middle of the woods and then you just hear a baby crying. Like, what do you do?
Right.
But yeah, so it's apparently if you were quiet enough and it was dark enough, you could hear the baby that she drowned crying in the woods.
And where?
So it's not a wailing woman, then it's the baby.
Well, it was just called the Wailing Woman.
Yeah.
What's that?
But that was in Pennsylvania, you said?
Yes.
All right, so when are we going to test out both of these?
Well, no, I was just wondering, like, what kind of wildlife you have out there, because I can tell you,
all kinds.
Like, dude, when I was a kid, trying to think. I mean, I had to have been, 10 or 11, something like that, maybe even a little bit younger. Spend the night at a friend's house, and they had cats. And these two cats were on the back porch at night, and I woke up to them screaming some. I have no idea what crazy ass shit to each other that sounds like dying babies.
Yeah.
Like, cats make the worst sound I've ever heard in my entire life.
They're probably in heat, actually.
Dude, well, that's little 10-year-old me had no fucking clue what was going on. It's just wake up in the middle of the night. Dude, there are children being murdered on your back porch right now. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
He's looking for ghosts and he finds two mating cats.
Right. Dude, that was, I remember that freaking me out so bad until I was able to kind of figure out what was going on there.
So what do you think? So what do you think, Jack? Was it coincidence for you or no?
For the car
For the
turning
car.
off? Coincidence? I think that was... No, I don't think it was coincidence. I also don't think it was... I don't think it was evil, though. I think it was more of... it was more of whatever, if you choose to believe in a higher power, it was more just straight up evidence of that. Like of just the supernatural. Not saying that like it had to be like an evil presence or like obviously the devil just like showing up, but at the same time it's I don't believe that things don't happen for a reason, right? So like I 100% believe that something turned the car off to be like, don't mess with this shit. Like you don't know you don't know the kinds of things that are out in the world. Like get the hell out of here, kind of thing.
So let me ask you this: would you do it again?
No. No, I had no reason.
So how did that urban legend start? Did it say how it started?
No, and this was like one that was passed around audibly because I have since tried to find like it's somewhere written down like in a website or something like that, and I can't find it anywhere. So it was one that was just passed around like verbally. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I'm sure that urban legends and stuff were definitely a lot creepier back before the internet, when it was just, and also before the internet, most of us were pretty darn young. So it was, you were gullible, anything like, no, I'm not going to try that because I don't want to take that risk. And now, we're older, we're braver. We have internet to go, okay, what's going on with this thing? Like, what's going on with the Bloody Mary thing?
Yeah, but the thing is like, I don't know. It's just one of those. What's the point? As for me, like jumping out of an airplane, like I would never do it because the airplane's working. If it's crashing, sure, I'll jump out. Maybe I'll save myself. But like with that, whether you believe or you don't believe that there's spirits and ghosts and demons and all that stuff, like whether or not you don't believe it, why risk it? Like why? You know what I mean? Like you can be like, yeah, I don't believe in that crap. Okay, that's fine. But I'm also smart enough to know that if I'm wrong about believing it, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm, going to search an insane asylum at, in the middle of the night for footage on a film. Like I've seen those movies. I know what happens. The ones when they actually find out that stuff is real, they don't come back. So I'll choose to believe like, no, I'm good over here on my own physical plane. And whether I may not like actually believe that that's really going on or whether I do, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to go put myself in a situation that it can be proven to me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, like I would say in a situation where like it's a reality TV show and they're like, hey, Josh, if you'll stay overnight in this haunted mansion or whatever, then you can win $5,000. I'll be like, hell yeah, I'll do that shit. But just to go out of my way to do it, I kind of agree with a lot of that. I mean, like, well, I don't know if it's going someplace and, going out of my way to do something that maybe there's not much reward for, but doing something like playing with the Ouija board or saying something in a mirror or, whatever, like those kind of things.
Mirrors, bro. Mirrors.
Yeah,
are terrifying.
I did all that kind of stuff as a kid just because it was like I felt like it was easy to prove one way or another. Like, look, there's no big deal. Look, do this right here, blah blah blah, and See, nothing happened.
Yeah, that's what I thought too until my car shut off in the middle of the woods. Yeah, watch this. This is gonna be stupid. We're
Yeah.
gonna go sit here in the middle of the woods and nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, none of the stuff that I ever did, I don't think anything ever popped up from it. I don't know. Did you ever play with a Ouija board?
No, I wasn't
Fuck
allowed.
no.
Yeah.
You kidding
I
me?
know. What?
Playing with the Ouija board? Like, who even came up with the name Ouija?
It's a Ouija.
You know, for the longest
actually.
time, I thought it was
It's
pronounced
Ouija.
Weegi.
No, it's Ouija, but I mean it's fine. Ouija board.
Whatever.
No, I mean.
And first of all, I can't. If I did one, I would have to use it by myself too, because I could never trust my friends with that next to me.
Exactly. I wouldn't trust my. It's all like, it's just weird. There's just too much room for ambiguity in a situation like that with a board that's magnetized or not magnetized, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anytime I ever used it, I always tried making it say stuff just to freak out the kids I was playing with.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was
There's
that
always one of
asshole.
you. There's always one of you that's like that's purposefully trying to guide it. So there's
They're
never
like, hey, let's ask it a question. Like, how old is this kid? And it's like 7. It's like, oh no, they're actually 8. What? The ghost got it wrong? Okay, what's going on here?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. I don't know.
So, well, I'm doing some research on some state specific urban legends, and I've found 2 in the Florida area so far.
Okay.
One of them being the gravity defying Spook Hill. Have you guys heard of this one? So this one actually says it's a popular attraction. The Legend of Spook Hill. There's actually a big sign out in front of it. Ages ago, an Indian town on Lake Wales was plagued with raids by a huge gator. The town's great warrior chief and the gator were killed in the final battle that created a huge swampy depression nearby. So what they say is, stop the car on the white line, place it in neutral, and let it roll back. It says the phenomenon that happened at Spook Hill is real. Cars that are parked in neutral will appear to roll uphill. Legend says that the hill is either the site of the Native American burial ground or an epic battle of a Native American chief against a crocodile. But the truth is that it's actually just an illusion created by the hill's surroundings. While the car appears to be rolling uphill, it's just rolling downhill technically.
Yeah.
But
I want to try that.
Yeah, a situation like that's actually, kind of cool, because that would be one of those urban legends that for years everyone's like going to try it. They're like, look, put it in neutral. See, here we go, going up a hill, getting pulled up the hill by the Indian chief, freaking out until someone's like, oh no, like, some scientist nerd went out there and was like, no guys, actually it's this.
Yeah,
and this.
that's one of the most ultimate actually. Because I mean,
you just hear
just the way you're looking at it.
And then you just hear in the background, what the hell, Carl? Why are you ruining our fun?
Yeah. That was the first one that I found down there. Second one is the Skunk Ape, which I believe this one is
works
kind of
at
like
the AT&T in the Largo Square. I've seen it.
Hurtful.
I've seen it. The Skunk Ape is real.
Oh my god, that's so mean.
Just kidding.
For those of you who don't know, he's talking about me.
Yeah, but let's see. So basically, of course, it's a Sasquatch-like creature, which basically I think when it comes to Sasquatch, each kind of region, if they don't have their own like Chupacabra or something weird like that, they have their own version of Sasquatch, where you got Yetis, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Skunk Ape, like all just kind of different names, where overall they seem to be fairly similar. Though it says that, let's see, the Skunk Ape, a relative of Bigfoot, a full-grown skunk ape stands anywhere between 5 to 7 feet tall. So definitely a lot shorter than what Bigfoot is.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if he's 7 feet tall, he's going to seem huge, because I'm only 4'8" or something.
Accurate statement.
True.
But yeah, so apparently, let's see, this Skunk Ape headquarters has popped up in the Everglades, where you can book tours out into the swamp to go on a hunting expedition to finally prove that hairy beast is real once and for all. So that will be on our list once we do the Bermuda Triangle cruise.
Yeah.
That when we stop back in the Everglades, we'll go look.
We're not going on a cruise. Remember, it's actually a propeller plane flight.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh, yes, that would be cool.
Rickety. I think one of the wings was
Georgia?
duct tape.
So Georgia's based on a couple different sites. So like this stuff is real in the fact. So Lake Lanier is a giant lake in the state of Georgia. That's a completely man-made lake, and
You mean it's made out of man?
made out of man. No, so it's not a natural lake. So basically, government bought up all this property, dug a giant hole, and poured some water in it. How you do that with a giant freaking lake, I don't know. But a lot of what they did was, I mean, they would buy up like these. I guess it was back long enough ago that we had like ghost towns and shit, which now seems kind of crazy to even think about a town just completely void of humans. But yeah, so like there were parts of that they bought up of these ghost towns that now are at the bottom of the lake. So if you were to dive down to the bottom of the lake, that you could actually walk through, a whole town of houses and general stores and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the problem with some of it though is it's a lake, so it's really murky and dirty. Like you can't see a lot in it. So I don't even know how well you'd be able to see anything going scuba diving.
Is there any videos of people scuba diving in it?
That's possible. I don't have any brought up, but I mean, because I've gone swimming in that lake, a million times. But anytime that I've tried doing anything with the GoPro, you get about 2 feet that you're able to see, if that much. It's just the water's just too murky. I mean, we have so much red clay here in Georgia that the water's it's just thick. I mean, it's a great, awesome lake and nice to swim in and stuff like that. But basically, where the urban legend comes from is that they say because of the fact that towns are buried down there, that they believe that cemeteries were also at the bottom of it, so bodies could come floating up at any time, that there's an abnormal amount of accidents and deaths in that lake, either boating accidents or drowning, or people have reported feeling arms and legs in the water. But like, to me, it doesn't matter what water I'm swimming in, I feel like there's arms and legs touching me or fins.
What's the lake called?
It's Lake Lanier, Lanier. But I would say most of the deaths and accidents are probably because we live in the South and there's a bunch of drunk rednecks that like to go swimming and stuff in there. That that's probably what.
Wait, come back. Let me cop a feel.
Right.
So question though.
Yes.
So I'm looking at the picture of the lake right now, and it's pretty massive. And there's like even small islands on it. There's even resorts on it. This lake's huge. Yeah. This was man-made.
Yeah. It said the government, in their determination to create Lake Lanier, bought up entire towns in order to clear space for the lake after they received congressional approval in 1946. However, they just decided to let water cover up the towns rather than demolishing them. So I mean, it's absolutely massive how they were able to work that out.
There's one of those in Pennsylvania as well. There's a man-made lake in the center of the state.
That's huge. How did they get the water in there? Is what I want to know.
I believe that you have some lakes that connect to the top and the bottom. So basically, or rivers that basically just pour tons and tons.
So let me tell you what, like ghosts are pretty scary, right? But underwater ghosts, those are just freaking terrifying, right? Like you're just swimming and you just have someone hand grab you and you look down and you see like this creepy looking ghost thing staring at you as it drags you further into its town. I'm like, hell no.
Yeah, the one in Pennsylvania is the same way. There was just a bunch of towns, and since it's man-made, like all the houses and towns and all this stuff is still down at the bottom of the lake.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah, it's cool. Like I would love to go scuba dive. Like if I knew how to scuba dive and got certified stuff, it'd be cool to go down there and just. I mean, because you think about it, I mean, like most likely, chances are that anything of any kind of value has been taken out of there. But at the same time, it's like I live 30 minutes from that thing. Like, how cool would it be to go scuba diving and find some buried freaking treasure, 30 minutes from my house in this place?
Right.
Like, that would be just the fact of it's an underwater town is pretty dope. But yeah, I mean, I've always knew about the town and stuff, but I don't think that I really, and I'd probably heard here and there maybe about ghosts or something like that at the lake. But I can tell you, the fact that we're in the South and there's plenty of reptiles and stuff in the water, that freaks me out. Like snakes, water moccasins, like I see those all the time. Like those freak me out more than ghosts do because they're real and they will poison you.
Yeah, bro, but still scary underwater ghosts, man.
Yeah,
like I'd rather look down. Like if I feel something slithering and then I feel a sharp pain in my leg, I'd rather look down and see a water moccasin than see a fucking ghost.
Yeah.
Hell no. I'd rather get bit by a ghost than a water moccasin.
First of all, the ghost wouldn't bite you; it would suck out your soul and drag your body down into the deep depths.
That's
I wonder
true.
if sucking your soul out hurts. I think it hurts.
Sure.
I don't know. Depends on how much you fight. I think if you just let it go, it's probably pretty smooth. But if you're like fighting, it's probably
kind of feel like it's like a slushy for him, like you're just going.
Maybe like getting your hair waxed off, or it's just kind of like pulling it off of you, like Velcro or something.
All right, now let's talk about Florida. Okay, some of the spoopy stuff that lives here in Florida.
Go for it.
Now, one of the greatest urban legends that's ever existed in Florida. It might be a creature you all are familiar with. The alligator.
Yes.
This creature can live up to 6 feet wide and 12 feet long. They live in
They got
lakes.
bigger than 12 feet.
Some people ain't never seen an alligator, but I have. No, there's a lot of alligators in Florida.
So many.
Oh yeah. Well, so this one I believe was kind of thought to be an urban legend, but has now been proven to be true. Is the python epidemic you guys are having down there? You guys familiar with it?
Oh yeah, where they're like having hunters go out again. This happens. This pops up every few years down here.
Well, let me see.
They start to get out of control, and then they have to like population control them. They're getting really smart with it now, though. I don't know if you read into it.
No, so this one, here we go. Well, basically what they were saying is the same kind of situation like with the gators, that people would have pythons as pets and then let them go. And that's what they were thinking was causing a lot of the python problem in Florida. But what they said, says in a new documentary, CBS looked into how the problem got to be so bad, and it has its roots in Hurricane Andrew. It's a Category 5 hurricane slammed into the coast. Let's see. That there was some kind of like sanctuary, like reptile sanctuary or whatever, that just got absolutely destroyed. I'm trying to pull up the exact. Let's see. One of the buildings affected was a Burmese python breeding facility. And so it says that one female can lay up to 100 eggs per year and has a lifespan of upwards of 15 years. So basically, the hurricane destroyed a breeding facility, letting out all of these pregnant pythons, and then they just
wait. But are Burmese pythons that bad though?
I mean, really? So I would say out of any snake that I would like to stumble across, that I would rather run across one of those. You got your harmless garter snakes, you got your king snakes, which aren't going to be bad. Pythons, really, they strangle most of their food. So as a grown man, you don't have to worry about those as much, I don't think. They can get big enough that they could kill you, but I think you'd have to probably be taking a nap in the swamp and then like wake up when it's already halfway, have you squeezed to death. Other than that, I think you should be able to kind of get away from it. I think it's more people's pets, small animals, possibly even children could get fucked up by one. But really, I mean, when you're talking about like all the different creatures that could kill you, I mean, alligator snapping turtles that are in Florida are to me much more terrifying because they're going to take a giant chunk out of your body compared to like the python seems like they have smaller teeth. They're going to wrap you up and it's like, all right, I don't want to be wrapped, go away. But no, like sticking my foot in some water and having a freaking alligator snapping turtle chomp down is, oh, that makes my toes curl.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
If you were getting attacked by a python, you could just cut it while it's strangling you, right? Like just you could.
Yeah, with judo chops.
You could.
I mean, you know, you got a survival knife on you. You tell me you live in Georgia and Florida, you ain't got no survival knife?
I tell you, when I go swimming in the ocean that I use one, and you guys made fun of me.
Wait, did I? What are you talking about? Jack would swim in the ocean with a knife.
I know. I think we talked about that though in like one of the first couple of podcasts. I talked about the fact.
Jack would swim with a Gatling gun if he could.
That's
true. Yes. Damn, 17-foot python found in Florida Everglades. I don't know, 17 feet may be able to kick my ass.
It's yeah. Speaking of that, though, did you see how they're helping to get rid of it? The problem? They're finding these big males, right? And they're putting a tracker in them instead of killing them, and then they're tracking them to the nests where they're going to fertilize the eggs. And killing them,
killing all the babies
at the nests.
But are pythons like really that bad though? Huge. Like I just, yeah, but I mean, like how like they kill wildlife and stuff, but like the death rates for.
And the problem is that they end up being nuisances, man. They end up being like they're invasive. They end up, like Josh said, they can go after pets. They can go after your kids. They're just in your yard. They're they can end up in the road.
Well, it's just a problem when you have a creature that does not have any natural predators, and there is nothing that specifically targets python.
Bro, you ever had snake man? Shit, delicious.
Yeah, then. If that's what they're doing with them, then that's cool. But like, I don't think that that's happening enough.
No.
You'd have to have a Florida fried.
It's the same kind of thing as like in Pennsylvania when the deer population gets out of control. They send out like the rangers and they give hunters extra allowances each year to like weed down the population. And you're like, well, that's just deer. Well, the problem is that the deer they trample vegetables. They get in people's gardens. They're on the roads. They're getting hit constantly.
Oh, they die.
And they're just this huge, basically this accident missile that's just running across roads, causing people to get hurt and die because there's just too many of them.
Yeah.
They can't stay in the forest. They're trying to travel to find other, breeding and nesting grounds, to be safe, and they end up being more harm than they are good. So it's the same kind of thing, and that's what's happening with the pythons.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you have a circle of life when it comes to animals, and something like a 20-foot snake kind of starts trumping that, where it's like, okay, well, if you're going to be towards the top of the food chain, you can't be having 100 babies per year.
Right.
Like, some of the other things that are at the top, like humans, top of the food chain, have,
depending if it's twins or quadruplets.
Not even one per year. Like, we have 3 per lifetime, at maximum with most people. That that's what
I think that sometimes too, and this is we're straying off topic of urban legends, but it's still in the same vein because I think sometimes we forget that animals in general are like, when it comes to them in their own environment, we don't get to be man in its natural environment, and I mean that without technology, without weapon advancement, but a man in his natural environment with bare hands, and barely clothes to keep him, dry, is not at the top of the food chain. We are not the apex predator without our brains and being able to craft weaponry and shelter and outsmart an animal. There was an article a couple weeks ago that I was reading about a guy who was I don't know, maybe you saw this. He was trophy hunting for rhinos. He was poaching rhinos, and after he killed a rhino or something like that, he was securing the tusk, the horn of the rhino, and he got trampled by elephants, and then mauled,
Yes,
and then he got mauled by lions.
Jesus,
that's like some serious.
Like that's
crazy.
like the just a reality, shock. That it's just like, hello, you're not the top of the food chain when you don't have your rifle. Like the animals rule their own kingdom. They rule the that's why I'm so deathly afraid of sharks and have so much respect for them. It's like, when I'm in water, I'm literally not in my own element. Like I'm in water, liquid water, and the shark in its own environment is apex. That's they're the predator.
Yeah.
So I saw a video, and it's a very, very not safe for work, not safe for life video on a subreddit just the other day of somebody's cell phone footage of a guy who had been attacked by a crocodile in Africa and killed by. And it's, you don't see the attack, but you see the crocodile literally swimming downstream with a guy's foot in his mouth, and he's all still attached. He's just drowned underneath the alligator, and it's like, that's the visual picture of, you go near the river in a place where a Nile crocodile or an African crocodile is. These things are 15, 16 foot long. Like, they are the apex predator in that situation. You don't have anything that's going to stop them from killing you if you don't have a blade, a weapon, a gun, something like that. It's like, when I'm sure that guy, once he got snatched up and the crocodile did the whole death roll into the, and underneath the water and drowned him, that was it. That was, you know what I mean? There's no coming back from that. So,
that thing going to eat you.
Yeah. So I think we forget a lot of times that these animals, these wild animals in their own habitat, they are apex. They do not, we don't stand up on top of them without our technology, without our fire.
No, without guns.
Well, so getting us back on topic, one of the first urban legends from your state is the Fountain of Youth. Are you familiar with that?
Ponce de Leon, right?
I think so.
How else do you know that I'm 260 years old?
Yeah, so did he ever find it?
Not. He'd be still.
No.
He'd be still
or
alive.
did he? Or did he? I think now today he calls himself Donald Trump.
Is he the president? Ponce, is that you?
That's the weird thing. Like, I wonder when that one happened and why it was Florida that it was. I don't know the history of the Fountain of Youth, like where. I mean, because that one you're talking about, like going back far.
I'm sure that it had a lot to do with the fact that, like, it was super hot, swampy, tropical, and then you have something like, we're known for our spring water somehow. It's really weird because we're known for our spring water, but at the same time we're also known for, like, all of the major cities using reclaimed water, and you're not supposed to drink it out of the faucet. So it's like, very, very, like, drastic change.
Yeah.
But there's a big bottling water.
Wait, you can't drink tap water here?
Well, I mean, some places you can't. You're not supposed to bathe in it either, depending on where you're at. But
what?
Yeah,
don't talk to me.
There's
start melting.
Zephyr Hills bottle spring water is, like, not too far from me. You know what I mean? So you have these.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I forgot about that. Like, I think it was Crystal Springs, something like that I went swimming in at one point, and it was like, super hot outside and everything, but the water, because it was coming straight from the earth, was
cold,
like
probably.
50 degrees, so it was so cold, but you could see a mile underwater.
Oh, dude, yeah. If you've never been to a spring before, man, you can see so far into it. It's awesome. Crystal Springs in Florida, right?
Yeah. So I wonder if, like, they stumble across something like that and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And they drink it. They're like, am I going to live forever? Well, I don't know. I guess we got to wait another 50 years to figure it out, or whatever it is. Or maybe they're like, okay, well, this one I don't think is working. Let's keep going. It's got to be one of these because this is too. I mean, if you go look at it and swim in one, like, yeah, I could see falling victim to that and going like, damn, yeah, I think this could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause you're
Jack,
talking about the
you've
days
never gone
before
swimming in the
radio,
spring, Jack?
TV, and
Like
Yeah.
you've never gone swimming in the spring before? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that it's like weird because like you go down and then it's like all murky, and then as soon as you pass that cloud, it's just all literally like it's freaking crazy.
incredible.
And then you see a shark, and then that's when Jack passes out.
Pretty much.
You just see Jack's body float to the top. All right, but I didn't come here, okay, for springs and pythons. All right, I came here for some spoopy shit.
All right.
Okay,
Ooh, tell me.
all righty. So here's one. Grab your seats, ladies and gentlemen. So, are you guys familiar with the Skinwalkers of Arizona?
Heard of them, yes, but I'm dying to hear more.
Yes. So, you guys ever watch those like YouTube channels where like they go over like urban legends, like the creatures and stuff, and then they do like an actual like theatrical rendition of it? Okay, so Skinwalkers are like kind of like, I wouldn't say werewolves, but they're a big urban legend in Arizona, where there was actually even a time when a Navajo woman was like brutally murdered, and the killer, his defense in court was it could only have been perpetrated by a Skinwalker. But these things what they are Navajo witch doctors who have become evil. Because Navajo medicine men are trained to learn both the good and evil aspects of their abilities, and the Skinwalkers are like those who turn to the evil side of it. But like the scary thing is like why they're so terrifying is like one of the big urban legends with it is if you drive down the desert road of Arizona through, I believe it's actually called Skinwalker Ranch. Even if you're driving 60 miles per hour, you'll hear these little taps on your window, and you'll see this mutilated half-human creature thing running next to you, just at like insane speeds, and then trying to eat your flesh.
Do you want to go check it out?
Yeah, I'm down. I mean, I would go in like a tank, in like a freaking armored Hummer or something.
Do you think that would save you?
Like, oh yeah, man. Bruh, like human ingenuity.
Back
I guess what I'm talking about.
brain.
Like, yeah, no, we can't turn into wolves. We ain't got sharp claws. We ain't got that sharp of teeth. We ain't got venom spitters. We got big, heavy metal machines. We gonna trample
That's funny.
all over that. We got tracking devices for pythons. We can
That's
do
true.
anything.
There's another one. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this one. So this one is kind of to piggyback off of Luch's with the car driving. So it's a story about a woman who's driving down a road late at night, and a car comes up behind her driving, and then all of a sudden the car starts flashing its lights and like speeding up next to it, and basically she is freaked out, so she like tries to speed away, but it just won't stop following her. It follows her all the way home to her house, and whenever she gets to her house, she like jumps out of her car, dials 911, and is calling the police that this person is, obviously has chased her to her house. And it turns out that once the police get there, that the guy that chased her down had seen somebody in her back seat with a knife and was trying to warn her the whole time. And they apprehended the guy in the back seat.
Wait, there was really someone in the back seat? No. This is not a true story. Where's this at? What is it called?
The Killer in the Back Seat.
Oh my god. Chives, run that for me.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, he saw the guy in the back seat, like, I guess, like sit up with the knife, and I guess caught the glint of the knife, but then as soon as he flashed his beams at the lady, he like ducked down, and he was just trying to catch up to her to tell her before but
yeah, that's crazy.
Oh,
there's also
god. Wait, no, this didn't really happen.
There's also the one with the so everybody's obviously heard the calls were coming from inside the house, right? But that was actually based on a true story
Yeah.
of a babysitter who got not a babysitter, but a girl who got a text from somebody saying that, basically like somebody trying to stalk her, and it's like saying that he could see her and that he was in her house, and she like slept with her parents for like a night, yada yada, whatever. But then the next day, she went back to her own room, and still had that same feeling like somebody was there, and there was a person under her bed.
Same lady?
Girl. Yeah, the same lady as the car.
Oh.
No, it's a different girl.
It's also be able to have like all these hitman chasing her.
Right, just terrible luck. She goes to take a shower, one's hiding right behind the fucking curtain. Oh my gosh. All right, what kind of spoopy ones you got for me, Josh? Come on, I want you to make my skin crawl. I want to tingle.
Well, no. So what I'm curious of is some of these modern day ones, because like I said, like the whole, like some of this stuff, like with the Slopey Hill, whatever, Spoopy Hill, what do we say it was? Spook Hill, yeah. Like that kind of thing I could see in the days before, someone going, actually, it's, that you could be kind of freaked out just because there are random phenomena that happen. But in today's age, I feel like with mainly the internet, that you should be able to figure out that stuff is bullcrap pretty fast. I think that so many people just, see stuff like Facebook or whatever as if someone posted on there, it is 100% true. Because like the fact that both with like Slender Man is now considered kind of an urban legend, that one, like we all played the video game, like we know like there were a group of people that sat down and go, hey, let's build a video game. They built a video game, and then people were like, ooh, he's real. And it's like, no, these bunch of nerds sat down and programmed it and made a fun game for everyone to play. Like that's how you make video games. Like it's crazy that it turned into what it did. But I guess one of the more popular ones that hit us like just recently was the Momo one. You guys remember that one? The like bird lady?
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, I saw so many like middle-aged people posting like, we need to take this stuff down and warn your kids and don't let them watch this kind of stuff. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, no one, I don't know. Like it seems like older people just get hooked up in this stuff and they just start spewing it, that once it kind of goes viral and it's taken off in like such a state that anyone who's trying to tell the truth about it can't be heard because there's too many people panicking over it. It turns into,
I mean, like
monster.
Like the older generations, like they have the best spoopy stuff, right? I mean, nowadays, it's all pretty lame or remakes.
Have you seen the Momo thing? Like that thing, I don't like looking at it. It's freaky as hell. And maybe
but again, like the people who were most offended by it were the older generations.
Yeah.
Like, the other, kids and teenagers are like, oh, hey.
Yeah.
I want to go eat some Tide Pods.
Right.
I'll go find another way to entertain my time. We'll go on TikTok and Snapchat.
Yeah. But I mean, it went big enough that it looks like YouTube even had to make an official statement on it. That they said that we want to clear something up regarding the Momo Challenge. We've seen no recent evidence of videos promoting the Momo Challenge on YouTube. Videos encouraging harmful and dangerous challenges are against our policies. And that was February 27th of this year, 2019. So like it got big enough that YouTube itself had to make a statement, which is pretty preposterous.
Yeah, no, for sure. I like the urban legends, though. Like I said at the beginning, the ones that aren't like necessarily violent, the ones that just like start from something, and then just like everybody repeats it, but you just have no idea why. Like for instance, for some reason, everybody thinks and repeats the story that daddy long-legged spiders are the most venomous spider in the world, but they just can't bite people because their fangs are too small.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've both heard that, right?
Oh yeah. And I
It's
probably
100%, and it's 100% not true.
I probably believed it for a very long time growing up
Yeah.
because I was like a big animal nerd kind of person where I was like I wanted to know all the animal facts. Like it doesn't matter what it was. So I hear something interesting and cool like, ooh, Granddaddy Longlegs, they're the most poisonous spiders in the world. They just have mouth to. Of course, I probably told at least 1 million people that. So I'm responsible for passing that along. No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it sucks, like, because a lot of people mistake daddy long legs for, the cellar spider, because there's like the thing that looks like a spider, but it's really just like a ball with legs attached to it. And then there's the cellar spiders, which are very similar to what people think, the daddy long legs are. So like, I forget what the actual term for it is, but one of them's not even a spider. It's some kind of like mite that has 8 legs and they're very long.
Huh.
Those are the ones that gather together. And then there's the cellar spiders, which are what really daddy long legs are. What people refer to them as, that have really long gangly legs, and then they actually have, the body and then the butt. That ass.
So what would be, I guess, the separation between it being an urban legend or just a rumor about something? Like,
I think the urban legend actually has to be, it has to have caught like almost viral status, where it's getting passed around, not as like a rumor, but as like an actual story that people that have embellished. They've added things. They've gotten more detailed.
Like, I think when I think of this stuff, I think of like the Richard Gere like had a gerbil in his ass. Like everybody knows that story, and I guess none of us really know.
It's a rumor. It's a rumor because it's defamatory, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what. Like,
I think that's.
Would that actually ever fall into that category, or because it's about a specific person, it could never be affected by it? It happened at one point. It's not still going on, or.
No, I think it's because it's defamatory. Anything that's like defamatory towards one specific person is more rumor / gossip than it is. Even if it ends up being true, it's not an urban legend, because urban legends are based around a story, not specifically like, oh, I heard a rumor about this person, or let's pass around the rumor, et cetera, et cetera. There's a rumor that Tom Cruise is this Scientologist space robot, that does XYZ.
Hold on now.
That's why he looks so young still. I think that's more of a rumor than it is an urban legend, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
I don't know. There's a difference between rumor and truth.
That's true. All I know is I want whatever juice Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves are drinking.
Well, Keanu Reeves lives in a simulation, and Tom Cruise drinks Pennzoil.
All right. Well, if Tom Cruise drinks Pennzoil, sign me up.
Oh God, we're just going to find Jack just unconscious in his room, just bottles of Pennzoil.
Dude, have you seen the picture of Tom Cruise and Jonathan Lipnicki from Jerry Maguire?
No, I don't think so.
All right, so Jerry Maguire came out in the 90s, right? 90 something. I don't remember. 95, 94, 95. And Jonathan Lipnicki is a little boy in it. Like a little boy, probably like 6.
Yeah.
Something like that. There's a picture of him and Tom Cruise now, almost 20 years. Yeah, 25 years later. Jonathan Lipnicki is like, has a beard. He's like graying in his beard. He's like graying in his hair. Tom Cruise looks legitimately like maybe he just like drank too much the night before.
Oh, I think I see it there. Okay, I think I see it. Yeah, he's wearing glasses in it, Lipnicki. Yep. Yeah. No, I'm looking at it. Wow.
Tom Cruise literally looks like Jerry Maguire yesterday. Only like maybe he like woke up a little rough.
That is interesting.
God. So you tell me, is he a vampire? Remember whenever he played
Xavier
the vampire? he played the vampire in Interview with the Vampire. Maybe he actually is a real vampire.
Is he also the Stuart Little kid?
Yeah, Lipnicki.
Yeah, the little rat.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He's been in a lot of things. You know, he was famous for like the milk commercial. Got Milk. He did that whole thing back in the day. He was a kid. Anyways, yeah. So like I said, I think there's more of like there's a difference between a myth, a rumor, an urban legend. You know,
Yeah.
those are all.
So, and again, like the only thing that I can like the thing about the monster myths and like things like that, because some of the monster myths are even just like regular humans.
Yeah.
But they haven't changed in
Yeah.
years. So it's like, well, if he's not a ghost, then either he's super old by now, and he can't really sneak up on someone because as soon as he does, it's turn around and you see an old man trying to hit you with a shovel. So I mean, but I don't know. It's some of them. I can't say all of them are fake. And then you guys remember the times when the clowns were really big issues?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like standing by the side of roads and stuff.
And they were like, do you ever see the video of the one that they go on a bridge and they see one walking across the bridge and it actually has like a knife or something and it chases after him?
Yes.
That shit crazy.
That
What would
shit-
you
That's
do? What would you guys
good
do
way
if
to
you
get
saw that?
killed.
I would shoot him in his face.
The funny thing is, Jack is like, I picture it in my mind. Like I'm imagining you in the same scene, like he's running at you, right? Probably making some like really creepy noises, like.
Yeah, I would literally shoot him in the face.
But then you realize he's still running at you with a bullet in his head.
No, he wouldn't.
And then you know what? Now you know what happens afterwards, Jack. His clothes rip and a shark comes out. It's a shark with legs. Street sharks.
So I'm trying to figure out. I wanted to see if we could find one that we could do at home that we could prove live on air that it's not true anymore. Luch, can you carry your microphone with you into the bathroom?
As you just hear blood curdling screams and me being murdered.
No, what do you need to do? I can do it.
Do the Bloody
God.
Mary. So let's see. You need a single
Tell me what
candle
to do.
burning. Okay, this is one of the most popular scary games you probably played at a slumber party at one point in your life. Simply go into the bathroom with the lights off and close the door. If possible, you can have a single candle burning. You're going to face the mirror and say, Bloody Mary, 3 times, and then look in the mirror. According to the urban legend, you may see Bloody Mary in the mirror. She may scratch your face, arms, or back. Or worse, Bloody Mary could pull you into the mirror pull you into the mirror.
Are you seriously going to do this?
Yeah, why not?
And you'll be stuck in there forever. So this could be the last episode.
I feel like he's already done it, so he knows it's not true.
All right. I just gotta light a candle. Hold on 1 second.
Oh my God. All right, but I definitely want to do one in Florida if we could find one like the Crossroads.
Yeah.
And get inside a car, me, you, and Jack.
Mm-hmm. All right, hold on. I got the.
Oh, we
candle
have to
lit.
bring Caleb too, just in case we need someone to get beat up.
We need muscle. This is in case we need muscle.
In case we need muscle.
I'm gonna bring my gun, but I'm gonna leave it under the seat because in case of panic, I might shoot one of you.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to see Caleb beat the shit out of a ghost. That'd be pretty interesting to see.
All right, I got the candle. What am I supposed to say? I just have to say Bloody Mary 3 times.
Yeah, and then look in the mirror.
All right, hold on.
I swear to God, if you make any kind of noise, scream in my earphones, I'm gonna be so upset.
Yeah, because I live 8
And
hours
what can
away. I
happen?
can't drive over there and check on him.
What could happen?
She's gonna scratch you.
Or is she going to bring you into the mirror realm for you to become her
shit.
boyfriend?
All right, ready? Here we go. Candle burning. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. No, nothing happened.
Damn. Oh,
Should I
well,
do it again?
well, no, you probably did the wrong one because you may have a Candyman mirror. Because for that one, you got to go into the bathroom and shut the door, turn off the lights, look in the mirror, and you got to say Candyman 5 times. In this story, Candyman will appear in the bathroom and kill you.
Okay, all right, I got it. Do I need to? I'm gonna hold on. Let me blow the candle out. 1 second.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know if he's actually doing this or not right now.
All right. Yeah, of course I'm doing it. Why wouldn't I? All right. Candyman, 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 Candyman.
Hey, y'all want some sweets?
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, he did.
See, for convincing Jack to do this, could they arrest me for like attempted
Dude, Josh,
murder?
do you see? Dude, Josh, he left it. Oh
So
my god.
The Candyman made him get off of Discord.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Okay. See, this is the kind of shit.
Okay.
So no,
Yeah,
I'm not like
fill us in.
listen. I was 100% trolling you. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna be quiet. It's gonna be really funny. I swear to God, as soon as I went silent and you were like, oh, he did, Zencaster lost connection to server.
Dude, man, like we watched you disappear.
Like I could not make that up. Like they literally just it said lost connection to server, attempting to reconnect.
And Nicole ain't home either, is she?
She is. I mean.
Oh, she is. Okay.
I mean,
you
she
did.
was.
Oh, you lucky man. You did.
No, I mean like I don't hear anything going on over there now. Oh shit.
Go check, make sure she okay. you summoned Bloody Mary and Candyman, but they didn't appear to you.
Oh
They're
no.
fighting each other. Ooh, I know. Okay, so here's how you stop Bloody Mary and Candyman. So this one's called Baby Blue. And if you play this game right, a baby will appear in your arms. Only it's definitely not the kind of baby that you would want in your arms. So you go into the bathroom alone, you turn off all the lights, close the door, just same as the other ones. You're going to look in the dark mirror, cradle your arms like you're already holding a baby, and then say Baby Blue, Blue Baby 13 times, which that's impossible in itself. I would
forget halfway through, so I'm not going to do that.
And then when you're done, you're going to feel the weight of a baby in your arms. In some variations, you have to flush the baby down the toilet before a woman appears in the mirror and screams at you to give her baby back. Baby back, baby back. And
Baby back ribs.
and the mirror woman can scratch you if you don't flush the baby down the toilet fast enough.
Oh my god. My question is, does having Candyman and Bloody Mary cancel itself out?
Yeah, probably.
Like, will they fight each other?
Yeah, they're probably. It's just like Freddy vs. Jason.
I think there was an actual movie with that too, wasn't there?
Freddy versus Jason? Yes.
No. Candyman versus Bloody Mary.
No, I don't think so.
I have no idea. But these are
Anyways,
silly. It's funny how many of them. I mean, most of them had to be created, with kids' slumber parties and going, ooh, what can I do to freak all the other kids out, kind of thing. Because, like, most all of these are go into the bathroom, close the door, and do this weird.
yeah.
God,
All right, man. Well, I mean, if something happens to me, I guess you'll know.
Well, and that's what I was asking
I
Luch
know,
while you
right?
got disconnected. Is since I convinced you to play the Candyman game, could they come after me for attempted manslaughter?
See, the trick is that both y'all are just talking right now, but I'm getting my face mauled. It's coming through the reflection of my
Flush the
case.
baby, flush the baby.
Oh my gosh! Please don't take that clip out of context. Anybody?
You're here at the bonus level podcast. We do not condone child violence of any kind.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, I think that's gonna wrap up this week's Urban Legends spooky episode.
Mm-hmm.
And
So I think we all know what the final boss is.
Was it Candyman? Because apparently
No, Jack's imminent doom.
Oh,
It's
apparently.
a skunk ape.
If you're ever in central Pennsylvania and find yourself in the middle of a state forest, flash your lights 3 times and see what happens. If your car dies, like it did to me, then I don't know what to tell you.
Then you should have heeded Jack's warning, because it ain't going to just turn off your car now. It's going to come at you.
It's going to come back.
It's going to eat your face.
And then don't come running to me when it happens. Although you probably wouldn't come running because you'd be.
They be eating everybody out there.
Yeah,
Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your husband. They eating everybody.
Not true. It was spooky. It was interesting, and I can't believe I literally got a connection error as soon as I was.
I really hope there's something like that in the area, because we're definitely doing it if there is one.
Okay, I'm down.
And we're going to record it, even if we get horribly torn apart.
Well, then at least it'll be on video. Anyways, thanks for joining us this week on level 28. And if you've defeated the final boss, which is my impending disastrous doom, then congratulations, and we'll see you next week
killed
for
Jack.
level 29. From all of us at the Bonus Level Podcast, we'll see you next week.
Later, taters.